Hi, and welcome to my fine mortarboard activity tutorial. I originally decided to write a blog post because I had so much feedback from a lot of the teachers that I work with that they really liked this idea and wanted to know more about it. And then I decided to turn it into a video because as I started using the fine mortarboard, I realized that there were so many more skills than just fine motor skills that I was actually teaching my students, and so I wanted to be able to share that, and I thought the easiest way would be through a video. So this is the board that I made. I saved myself a lot of money by making it myself, and I also was able to really personalize it and make it very applicable to my students' needs and really personalize it for my classroom. So I don't have a cute name for the game yet. We really just, when we're about to do the activity, I tell the students that we're going to do the activity board and I'm going to be giving them jobs. So I keep all the extra supplies in just a pencil box, and I'm in charge of giving the students jobs. Usually I am only giving them one job at a time. It might depend a little bit, but it's a really great way to practice taking turns, listening, following directions. So I might just take the first object out of the bag and say, okay, Bobby, what is this? What would you use it for? Where do you think it would go? And once they've used it a few times, they start to remember where everything goes. So I have just an eye screw that this hooks onto. And like I said, I wanted a lot of this stuff on here to be really applying to life skills that the students would use. And while they might not be rock climbing at this age, carabiners are really good for my students that have weak muscle tone in their hands because they have to squeeze it while they're also maneuvering it through the clip, which is a lot harder than it sounds for 5-year-olds. So to go through a couple of the other things in here, we have colored, sparkly, and striped pipe cleaners, and they might get a couple of these. It's also a really good way to talk about adjectives and describing, like how would you describe your pipe cleaner? It's silver, it's shiny. And then they get to stick it into the strainer that's up here. They just know not to put it all the way in or we'll lose them. I have some old credit cards in here that they then have to figure out which coin purse they would go in based on the size and the shape. So they first start by using a zipper, and then this is actually one of the tougher ones because students have to put it on an angle and then push it down, and that usually takes them a while to figure out. I really tried to have the kids problem solve as much of the board as they could on their own and really try to figure it out. I was very surprised that a lot of the things that I anticipated would be easy for them were the difficult ones and vice versa. I am mostly using this with my kindergarten students, although I have students in 2nd and 3rd grade that enjoy it as well. And so one of the next things is magnetic letters that fit perfectly in this big pill case that I have. So I might have the student name the letter, tell me the sound, and then tell me what day of the week it would go with. So you could pick Saturday or Sunday. They would open it, put it in, and then close it. This was an interesting one. I had a lot of students that were trying to put it in here or like just try to push it through, really not even having the skills to think about opening it or how to open it. But they very quickly caught on to that. The next one I have I really like for students that have pets. So it's a dog collar down here that they need to clip together, and then they have this leash, and I don't know what kind of hook that is, but again, it's something that they have to open, and then while they're holding it open, maneuver it onto the collar. So that's good practice. This is one of the favorite ones, I think. There's a letter stuck in there. And it's a nightlight that they plug into an outlet, and they get to click the switch. Obviously, it's not a working outlet, so I usually accompany this direction with turning on the light switch, which is kind of hard to see in the video. Move this over a little bit. This is definitely a favorite of my students. It's a working light switch that I got for Five Below for $5, I believe, and it was worth every penny because the kids think it's just so fun that it lights up. It actually comes with Velcro on the back of it, so it's easy to take off in case I need to change the batteries, which thankfully I have not had to do yet. I have a washcloth for the students to practice hanging it up here like they would in a kitchen or perhaps a bathroom. Then we have lids, which again was interesting that you really have to teach that you look at the size and the shape of the lid to match it to the container, because a lot of kids just want to put it anywhere that it will fit or hang. So they see that the circle goes onto the circle container, and then they have to twist it on. Here's a rectangle one that they just push on. I do have some contact case lids, even though, again, most of my students are much too little to be wearing contacts just yet. Here's another part where I didn't really anticipate there being another skill that I could teach, but we have a variety of clips here. There's plastic clothespins, wooden clothespins. This actually came off of a hanger, a binder clip, and then just a regular old silver clip. I was gonna have them hang note cards up there, but then I thought flashcards would make more sense. So you can have sight word flashcards, shapes, colors, anything really that you're working on. For example, this is the shape one, and they have to find, or actually this is a color one. They have to find the color of the anchor in the picture, and then they get to pick which clip they hang it on. I also have math theft flashcards, which could be used up here, but it also, I originally put them in the bag to tie into the calculator so that they can learn finding an on button and then typing in 20 minus 8. And then when they get the answer and they tell me, they get to hold on to their card for the rest of the game. I also have some play money that's folded up, so if you were teaching money skills, you could have them count the dollar bills. My students, I really just have them pick the container that it would go in and then zip it up. I also have pretend coins. This one, they have to use 2 fingers to undo the latch and then put the coins in and latch it again. That one's not as common for them to have seen yet, so again, that one really needed to be taught. I have a key, just a simple key ring that hangs on this hook right here. Here's the other lid for this one. If you were teaching measurement, this is a real working tape measure, so they could hold up an object and tell you how many inches or how many centimeters it is, and then they get to push it. Right now, I just have my students practice pulling it out and then pushing it back in. There's also a yo-yo here to practice winding around. There's a free hanging zipper that they can zip up or zip down. Up here I have some crazy straws. I was gonna have them put beads on to weave the beads down, but I wasn't able to find beads in my classroom that were large enough, so right now I'm just using a really, really tiny binder clip. And you have to just drag it all the way down, back and forth until it gets down here. I also have a pinwheel that they can blow on just gently to see that go. This is an extendable hand that I also got at Five Below that they can just go up, and usually I'll have them give it a high five. So a lot of times when I do the activity, it is hanging on these, or sitting on these drawers right here, and my students are in front of me. I'm always here to hold it. It doesn't have hooks. That's something I would like to add on to it, but I also don't have a lot of wall space in my classroom, so it also works just as good putting on the carpet and having the students just circle around it. Another very exciting one that they really enjoy is the lock, where they have to take the key and unlock it. They can take it off. They can practice closing it, which is very hard, at least with this particular lock. Really, they have to push it really strongly in order to get it to clasp. Then they can practice putting it back on the eye screw and doing like that. So that is pretty much it. I think I've covered all of the different sections of the fine motor board. One more thing I'd really like to add is a play phone. I would really like to find a way to, I haven't found one, and then find a way to attach it on here, because I think it'd be really good for practicing phone numbers. We want students to know their address and know their phone number, and so giving them a way to practice that in real life, I think that would be very engaging for them. I hope that this offered you some good ideas to use in your home or your classroom. If you have any ideas that have worked for you or things that you do in your classroom, please feel free to comment on them. I would love to hear more ideas and ways that I can incorporate different ideas into my classroom. So thanks for watching.